Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Before we begin, I'd like to make a few announcements. First, we are proud to announce that Sabbat the Schism is officially out now. Not only does it delve into the history and lore of the sect, it opens up multiple role-playing options for fans of the game, including new playable clans, elder level powers, and much more. You can find your own copy of Sabbat the Schism in the link below. Second, I'd like to thank RS Experiments, our local musical talent, for graciously providing the custom music you've been enjoying so far, including our awesome main theme song called Haven Dweller. If you enjoy any of the music used during the stream, and you'd like to hear more, you can find a full library of Mark's work by clicking the link below to RS Experiments' SoundCloud page. Lastly, if you enjoyed tonight's session and you'd like to see more, be sure to follow both our channels. You can catch us live most Sundays at 7 p.m. CET by tuning in to youtube.com/@EriseGames or at twitch.tv/EriseGames. Alternatively, you can enjoy all our recorded sessions on YouTube. Links below. Remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to leave us feedback and suggestions in the comments below. We hope you enjoy the session. And without further ado, let us delve into the world of darkness in tonight's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. As the sun sets over LA, as mortals return to their homes, resting for the night, or go out for a short party, as LA itself slowly goes to sleep, Serena awakens in the red moss-covered bed at the penthouse haven. She looks around. Olivia, formerly known as Cecil, is nowhere to be seen.
Serena sighs and slightly disappointed, gets out of bed, and after taking off the mask, most of the mask, off of herself and back on the bed, so to say, brushing it off, she goes and checks up on her new creation. Probably in another room, because that would be very creepy to have it watch.
As you open the door of the room, passing by the kitchen and going to the small supply closet you've repurposed for this creature existing in perpetual agony, you open the door that was slightly ajar, and inside you see, examining the creature with quite a bit of interest, standing with quite a stern posture, is Jack.
Oh, hello there.
Hey.
Quite an interesting idea you've got here.
Well,
I don't
Jasper is.
fully get what it meant to do, but
It's a food farm for Cecil.
I see. I see.
I mean, Jasper has been embracing, but he's not. He's not enlightened yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we can't risk losing a necromancer to a sale.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
So I took the embrace he provided last time, and voila. You give it humans, then you feed the humans some blood, and unless you just need to feed it, and then you get embrace like shovel heads out of it. Shovel heads, yeah. Last time Cecil almost all of his blood trying to control me. Apparently, if someone, it's just because I'm not of the clan. So the only from that part, the only connection is vicissitude. So yeah.
Speaking of blood, Jack pulls like 2 small bags out of his pocket. This is in the bags are the stones. Look kind of like obsidian, but with reddish hue. One of them would probably look a bit darker, and he basically handed them to Serena. This is actually blood. I've been to some interesting stuff. This one is Jasper's, this one is mine.
This is blood.
Yes.
Serena, examining the crystals. First, if you touch them, they are very, very cold. It's almost like holding a block of ice. As you examine it, it seems to have been shattered from some other shape, like it shattered from a larger piece. And the first things you notice, first, the coloring is not that of blood exactly. It's darker, almost as if it's coagulated.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like obsidian, but with reddish hue.
Yeah, and as you move it around, and the light reflects off of it, you notice that the light that reflects off is not. It's not like reflecting off of glass. It's essentially converted to this red tint, like very vivid red tint.
So this is blood. Like
Yes.
Serena looks at Jack, looks at the stone, and then licks it. Licks the stone.
Okay, let me roll something.
Which one do you like, Jasper's or Jack's stone?
I remember somebody saying that Jasper's blood is disgusting, so it's gonna be Jack's.
Okay, so as you lick this crystal, first you notice that the crystal itself doesn't exactly melt. You try to taste it, and you don't taste anything. None of it clinged onto your tongue. Do you choose to actually put it in your mouth and chew it?
It doesn't taste like anything, Serena says to Jack.
Well, it's not really like frozen blood. It is frozen blood, but with extra steps.
But do you just chew it, swallow? What did you use it?
Well, it didn't really get tried, but
Okay, I'm gonna like try and chew it.
Okay.
okay.
You put it in your mouth, you chew it, and as soon as you crack the hard surface, the entire thing immediately melts. And Jack, you notice that Serena, as she chews the crystal, from her nose and her mouth emanate these pitch black puffs of smoke that immediately vanish.
Okay, that's
And Serena, you
That's a
may receive 1 blood point.
How's the one that I spent to awaken?
it.
That's fine.
Basically.
Um,
Well, it looks even funnier from outside.
I mean, I did saw some puff emanating from
Yes.
my from.
Yes.
I mean, did it look funny or did it look cool?
Well, it looked cool, but still a bit funny.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is pretty convenient, and
Yes.
I think
I-
like you could like. I wonder if that could be done with human blood too, because then you can have like emergency
it
blood
could.
candy.
It could. With human blood, it's not gonna be as potent, but
I mean, this was what?
my blood.
Yeah, no. I meant like this was.
Well, I put some blood in a tray and froze it using some shadows. In a freezer, but with extra shadows.
Well, whatever it took me to awaken, it covered that.
Yeah, give or take.
As the two of you speak, you hear some footsteps from behind you. And you see a man you don't recognize, tall, quite well built, with a fully shaven head, and with a look a bit absent-minded, carrying what you recognize as Jasper's notepad. He walks in the room, or not in your room, but in the room past you, looks around, and then looks to the second floor, and turns to walk up the stairs.
Who the fuck was that?
Wait, what?
I have no idea who that is.
Miguel, what did I see?
Well, to repeat what I said, you see
Tall-
a man,
Tall man with
who's-
Jasper's notebook.
Yeah, a well-built, tall guy who walks in the room carrying Jasper's notepad with both hands. He looks around, looks to the second floor, and begins to walk up the stairs.
Excuse me?
The man doesn't seem to react to what you
Yes,
said.
Serena goes like quickly, just like uses. Basically, moves at the top of her speed behind, in front of him.
Okay, 1 second. Okay. So Serena, as you move at supernatural speeds, the man, almost as soon as you appear, like faster than he should react to this, he throws a punch towards you, sort of getting startled by your appearance there, but you do notice it's way faster than any mortal should do this.
I catch the punch.
And the punch lands, and it's almost like that scene from Castlevania. It just does nothing. The guy then looks to you and says,
Can I help you?
"Sorry, Jasper.
Who are you?
I need to see Jasper."
Again, how did you get in? Who let you in?
Jasper.
What? Your name?
I need to see Master Jasper.
I see.
Would Jasper hear this commotion?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Jasper would get out of his room and slowly walk towards where Serena
Just like
is.
turns to Jasper's like, is this yours?
Yes.
Next
that's
time,
for-
please introduce.
Well, I was supposed to introduce him a little bit later. He's actually earlier than expected.
Yes, well,
You forgot your notepad at the laboratory, Master Jasper.
is this your ghoul?
This is test subject number 4.
I see. Why does a test subject know how to get into our haven? A highly secure haven.
I watched the keys. I noticed there was some residue. I managed to get fingerprints from Master Jasper from the laboratory and managed to get the code for the haven. I then came here. Am I in trouble, Master Jasper?
Jasper looks a little bit annoyed as he walks down and says,
Iris just turns to the test subject, looks to the test subject. Like, she basically just, like, runs a hand over him and, like, to basically, like, is he alive?
Yes.
How interesting. Very advanced cognitive functions.
Yes, out of the 5 test subjects, he was the only successful after the surgery,
What
unfortunately.
did you start practicing that thing you were talking about?
Yes. Would you like to see the results of
I
my
would.
research so far?
I would absolutely love. Would you like to see what I've done with would you like to see the results of why you no longer will need to embrace to feed Olivia?
The wall person?
Jasper just shakes his head, clearly not wanting to know more than that, apparently. Anyway, test subject 4, I thank you for bringing my notes, but I will again say that you will stay in the lab until
Jasper.
Yes. Hmm.
You're gonna have to Google this one if you haven't done so.
Well, I
And-
have been feeding him my blood, if that's what you mean.
Okay. So you have full control?
Yes. It's been some nights that I've been feeding him. Wouldn't you say that you would love to obey me, test subject 4?
Always.
Okay, the only problem is the whole situation now. Given his advanced cognitive functions and the fact that he figured out the code and the key on his own, you realize how that is, let's say, that is a security concern.
Yes, I
So
did not
you're-
expect a increase on cognitive activity.
Right,
to
well
increase the
then,
control.
if you're not in the lab, he needs to stay here. I will not have somewhere during the daytime there be a test subject of yours whose mind contains information, or even just in a lab and you're not there, whose mind contains information on how to access our haven.
I believe
Exact ways to enter without triggering any alarms.
that memory is possible to suppress. If
Well, whatever.
Master Jasper would
Yes.
be so kind as to give me some updated biology books, I could figure out a way to do so. And I would willingly submit myself to the surgery.
Jasper looks now more interested in him than before.
Either
Well,
way,
Use a
before you return to the lab, and before you figure out this security concern, keep your biological computer here.
test subject. Have you experienced any other changes to your cognitive functions? Other
Not that
than
I'm
increased
aware.
speed?
He is too
am-
fast, Jasper.
I'm more aware
Yes, an
of
increase
things.
of
But
his reactions.
I'm more
I
aware of
mean-
things, and the world seems slower, but nothing out of the ordinary for what the original experiment intended. Not that I've noticed.
Serena looks to him. Jasper, so you know how fast I am, right?
Yes.
Watch this. And Serena turns to the test subject, catch my fist. And she's going to do basically as fast as she can. It's not to hurt him, just she'd stop before barely touching his forehead, but she wants him to catch the wrist.
The guy at first seems a bit confused, and as he slowly turns his head to Jasper, essentially with the face you now understand as asking for permission for something. Out of the corner of his eye, he seems to notice your motion, Serena, and he just dips backwards out of the way of the fist with sort of a surprised look.
I will admit, I didn't actually I just used the passive effects of my speed. I didn't actually increase it with blood, but you get my meaning. Even at base level, my speed is above what humans can reach.
Master Jasper did manage to increase my reaction times by a total of 60%, I believe. Though I have been feeling a slight increase over time as I adapt to the modification. I believe I might be able to reach 80% with the right amount of effort.
Excellent. He opens his notebook, clearly taking in.
The guy basically
notes.
hands you the notebook for you to take the.
Serena looks to Jasper. I wonder. You know what? If he survives long enough, if you don't mind, you know what? He could be a pretty good embrace for a Malkavian. Given our cobweb and all.
Master Jasper, what's a Malkavian?
Do not worry.
He
looks back to Serena, waiting for her to finish. Waiting for Serena to finish what she's saying.
Yeah, so given the fact. Think of it as a cobweb, is sort of like a information network in a sense. So it would need learning how to basically interpret the symbolic nature of the information, the encoded. But it'd be quite interesting.
You just decided to put a server
I
in the
suppose
network.
if
When you're done.
when he stabilizes and I see no more use to risk his life. I guess you could embrace him, Serena, if you so desired. So,
It's like,
unfortunately,
Embrace being. I believe that means making me like you.
yes.
How do you
Subject.
embrace someone?
that's
Don't
for us
worry.
to know.
Hmm. He seems to
Have to
think
find.
for a moment and then says, "Ah, I believe this would impair my service to you, Master Jasper. Ingesting someone else's blood might muddle the waters, so to speak."
Oh, actually, in your current state, you'd still be fully bound to Jasper.
Well, I wish to only be loyal to Master Jasper.
Mm.
Excess loyalty might confuse me. I don't wish to be confused.
Yes, it doesn't work like that.
Jasper just looks at Serena with a nod to, don't mind him, it's not worth the effort to explain.
And Serena just like like looks at the test subject. With a like, I get it, you're a computer, and you think you're smart, but that's still like basically like like how one would look at an AI trying to claim that they language models trying to understand fully text.
I was hoping for you know who to take a look at him, see. Probably also one of the other test subjects, so I can know what difference was there to him compared to the others.
I don't think Olivia's in the house.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh, and now it's escalator, I guess.
Serena
we
hasn't
could,
seen Olivia yet, right?
Not yet, no.
Yeah,
we could always
she's gonna
use
text.
a butler for the house, I guess, for the haven.
Mm-hmm.
A subject for could be quite useful for the morning routines of while we are asleep.
I would be willing to perform this duty, but may I ask for permission to fetch some food, if possible?
Mortal food or blood?
Well, it's been about 12 hours since my last meal. I fear my performance may be hindered if I am not fed correctly.
There's some steaks in the fridge.
Very well. If this is okay with you, Master Jasper.
If she says it's okay with me.
I don't have any spices for it though. My pets consume it raw. But there might be even
Well,
Wagyu.
well, isn't there a thing I saw online called iFood or something like that? An app for
We're
getting
not
food?
calling Uber foods over here.
I did see some cameras on the way, and I hope that my input of the code was not a problem.
Do I remember cameras in the elevator?
Not in the elevator, but cameras basically on the way to the elevator that you usually turn off. So basically, from the camera, if someone were to examine, they'd see someone entering the elevator and never leave.
Slightly. I'll just message Vikas about like what do we do in this case.
Well, I mean, it's not a big issue.
It's a slight issue that we might know the solution for.
I
Yeah, but maybe let's get like Leo to bring in something for new.
if I If I may be excused, I will go to the kitchen and prepare something for myself. He gives a slight nod and walks down the stairs. And as he turns around to walk down the stairs, now that you actually have time to look at the man, you notice on the back of his head there is a very, very slight bend to his skin. Something you recognize, Serena, from essentially, fixing something with vicissitude without much care that can cause marks like this.
Mm-hmm. So what did you do? She asks Jasper.
Well, I increased his cerebellum to the point where it would be equal to the mass compared to the brain to that of a cat.
And see.
I did
Interesting.
expect his reaction speed and peripheral visions and even probably even his ability to balance himself would get increased, but it's certainly surprising the extra
Mm.
effects. What do you
Serena looks
think?
down at her phone, like Serena's looking down, at her phone, uh, as she's replying to something. And then puts the phone away. Yes, it's just quite interesting. Um, but yeah, given like his advanced cognitive abilities and how much he's figured out from that little, don't leave him unattended in the lab.
I did not expect him to easily get away. It's not like I was not being careful.
Yeah, what about the other ones?
The other ones are mostly paralyzed, one plausibly brain dead.
I see. Well, congratulations.
Well, this is not a victory, it's more of a stepping stone that I'm getting closer to what I want.
Still, you're progressing quite well. Um, you are. That is that is quite excellent empirical research you've done, and I'm glad that you are turning out to be with a quite good mindset for a metamorphosist. Hmm.
Jasper looks confused when you say that.
She looks at him just like with a face. You are a Demeter from the Sabbat, right?
Yes.
Don't tell me you have never heard of the passive metamorphosis.
I heard mentions, but no, my master never had the time to explain it to me.
Well, you you are you have the right mindset and mentality. I can aid aid you with a transition to it. Since humanity will not serve you in the long term. Not with your experiments and keeping your own mind safe from it. Like, safe from the wassail.
Hmm. I see.
Cecil and I both follow the path of metamorphosis.
Jasper nods. Well, I'll be delighted to hear about it once I find the time.
I've been hearing
Yes.
about it.
Hmm?
A day in the lab.
Yes.
Small little lesson of it, and I'm glad to see that the lessons are sticking.
Jasper nods towards you. He's unsure if he should feel proud or not, but he just nods.
How are you disposing of expired test subjects?
At some point, the front door opens and in walks Abel.
Just
Good
the way it
evening.
is, you taught me, Serena.
Hello there.
Good evening, Abel.
How are we feeling tonight?
Not possessed?
Same.
It's a good thing, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, it is. I don't think me getting possessed is good for your livelihoods.
Yeah, it's like smoking for mortals. Not really good for your health in long term.
I mean, especially bad for Abel.
What would happen if we would lose our pack priest?
Well,
Nothing.
Olivia, yeah, Olivia would probably step in.
Hmm.
Well, no, Olivia wouldn't
Olivia
step
is
in.
officially not even indoctrinated yet.
Hmm. Not saying that. Well, technically, Cecil was my original pack priest, and Doctor's at the same
No
time. So
questions about that, but officially she's not indoctrinated.
officially, you just
Officially, you're still alive.
listen. Listen. If whatever, like, look, whatever problems you imagined there, it's really easy to say that she passed her creation rites before my hypothetical death. But again, in that hypothetical situation, do you honestly think Olivia would be doing?
No, any one of us
Like,
will do the paper job.
no, no,
Olivia
no, no. I'm not saying that. No, no, no. Here's what is like a hypothetical death does not equal any good for anyone in the pack.
Yes. Less about negatives.
Right.
I
Abel,
need
did
to.
you dispose the ring?
Well, we should now, probably now that we have recovered a bit, decide what to do about it.
I hope you kept it safe.
Well, it's as safe as it can be, I suppose.
Okay. So, why did you not destroy it yet?
Well, it's not something that can be destroyed in with physical means, it seems.
Okay, we can drop it in the Mariana Trench.
Yes, but that would not destroy it.
Wait. You tried to destroy it and you did mention that the ghosts get angry with you, correct?
Yes, yes.
Oh, there's a ghost.
Oh, there's an advanced ghost.
A specter.
It looked really, really
Just wait here. And Jack will
hidden.
go and grab the book on classification of ghosts from Delmont's shop.
Okay, so. Oh shit! I remember there being already like some demon-empowered specter. Like I didn't.
So that
Only.
would
Oh,
make
yes, my
sense
friend
why
did
that
say that.
object is not easy to destroy. It is simply not just an object, but a fetter of
Yes.
ghost, which also binds it to the living realm, the Scanlands.
Okay, how do we destroy it?
Mm,
Maybe if we
I'm
ask
unsure.
nicely, the ghost will move on.
I think there is a ritual, but I will have to look more in depth to it.
Have you
But,
been Have you been
but
studying that with Freya?
yes, I have been. But I do have a possible slightly solution. We could shard the ghost.
At this point, Jack brings two giant fucking books. One a bit more dusty and gives less dusty to Jasper. Here are the rituals. Find out what you can. And he's gonna flip through the book on classification of ghosts, trying to find what Abel would describe about it.
Well, I could share the image to someone who could.
Not can't yet.
Does anyone read Abel's mind?
Freya looks stable. Can't you just like make it appear as an illusion to all of us?
Well, I could. So you see, as Abel concentrates a bit and conjures an image.
Okay, everyone rolls courage, please.
Ooh. Ooh. Telese.
For
I've yet to
everyone,
progress on my pass.
for everyone, it's difficulty 4. For Jasper, it's difficulty 7
Do I roll as well?
because he's seen some shit. You don't roll, Abel.
10-5. Let's fucking go.
Ray is such a cutie.
She is
Like,
the little
like
potato.
I wanted to move her from the corner where she occupied my space. And she just like bent out and showed me some belly. And then she's giving pits.
For context,
Who
Ray
wants
is the
cuteness?
dog.
A bit of cuteness amid the world of darkness.
Yes.
Encourage who wants takeout successes.
Ones and tens don't function in.
Don't have extra functions.
Don't have extra functions in virtual roles, so
Virtual
you're
roles.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I get
So-
2 successes.
Yeah. So, you got 1 success. Oh, 2 successes. Yeah. So, all of you immediately get this image of essentially this fucking monstrosity.
Iris doesn't even blink.
Jasper, you recognize this vaguely as what some would call a shade. Now, you personally don't have a name for it, but you know it's a specifically dangerous specter, only this one is way larger and way more aggressive looking than the ones you've dealt with. Namely, it has characteristics it shouldn't have. And as you all get to see this, you hear a gasp coming from the kitchen, and then the illusion dissipates, and you see the what Jasper calls Subject 4 looking quite impressed and saying, "I see. Apologies. Carry on." And he turns back to his meal.
Cyril looks at Abel as Jasper's new goal.
Uh-huh.
Jasper looks very worried. Very fucking worried.
Right. So, resident necromancer. Our token death sorcerer. What do you know?
Well, we got two options. One, we destroy that. Or Abel most likely will die in a painful manner.
Think.
That. How can I explain? Oh, you know wraiths and specters. One could say that specters have levels to them. That is one of the worst levels I have ever possibly seen in my own life. And I know it might sound, confusing or orthodox with me saying, but it looks way too unnatural to even be what
Well,
I
it
perceive.
is imbued with demon energy through the ring. And last I heard. And
Which now makes me beg the question that perhaps I might not know its full capabilities because of that.
What does the power of nerd gives Jack? Because he's flipping through the books with like classification of ghosts specifically to find something.
Repeat the question, please.
Yeah, like Jack's seen the ghost. Jack's now basically scrolling through the book with classification of ghosts.
Physically
Trying
right
to
now
find
or through your memory?
Physically right now.
Okay.
I
So
have about 140 years worth of memory in my head.
yeah,
It's
so
faster this way.
roll just a very simple wits academics difficulty 4. I need to send a message in private. One moment.
He needs to send the message. 1 success. Jasper, meanwhile, here's the book that can have something how to destroy it.
Okay.
It's like this fucking thick. And it's
Jasper
all
grabs it with a little bit difficulty. He only
So
has one
just flip it on the
strength.
page.
so
Just flip it on the table.
as
Well.
you flip through the pages, Jack.
right, guys.
Hold
so
on. So as you flip through the pages, Jack, you find a few entries on types of specters and types of wraiths that you might find in the Shadowlands. And you find the mention of something that has a lot of names. Namely, you connect it to a lot of types of river spirits in mythology, including some river spirits of some stories in Japan. And in essentially with a very quick look online, Googling this name of this river spirit in Japan, you find modern forums referring to the creature as a shade.
Right, guys.
This.
Right, guys. So I'm pretty sure in the three counties we had a very, very similar problem. We had there's a Talmahara agent who was pretending to be a Malkavian necromancer. He said that basically there was also a ring and a shade. Though it was more connected to human, but it was also demon influence. And that spirit was basically imbued with the demonic powers. Now, I wasn't present during when she took care of that creature, but we're at the stage where this creature is at the beginning levels of what it eventually became. Because eventually what it became was, I don't know, the size of a building, if I remember correctly, from reports. So, it's, like, it can get more dangerous. We should take care of it ASAP.
Yes.
So what are our options?
Well, we need to destroy the feather and the bee and the thing, right? Well, we can't destroy the feather before we destroy the ghost, so. That's Magic Man? What can we do? Jasper.
Yes.
What are our options?
I mean, I did learn recently a ritual that, well, basically makes one bottle a ghost. It's like a prison of sorts. The bottle becomes truly
Yeah,
the
but
ghost.
if it becomes a prison, that still like doesn't change the fact that the ring is a feather and we can't destroy it.
Yes, but it will at least give us time to find a way without interruption of the ghost. Destroy
Okay.
it.
If it works on a demon imbued ghost.
Exactly the problem here, which I am not sure if it will work, but it is worth a try.
Okay. Abel, did you and Jack not say that you had some sword that could harm ghosts?
Yes, the only thing that could actually get the Wraith's attention was when I tried to, well, harm the ring with the sword.
Okay, but did you try and touch the wraith with the shade with the sword?
I wasn't close enough, let's say, and
Okay, well,
I didn't want to be.
yeah, I get it, I get it.
Well, I can say one thing for sure. Abel right here, which is the only person that the shade saw, most likely is being hunted as of right now by it. So I'm unsure how far away it can go, but if it ever sees it, even if he does not, it will surely attack or try something against him.
Okay, well, if the we need to figure out if the sword can harm this shade.
As you speak about the matter, and this goes for Larry as well, even though he has yet to enter the scene. All of you get this sort of paranoia in the back of your head, as if something just happened that might actually cause you harm. You recognize it, for those of you who have experienced it, you recognize it as essentially this sixth sense that Auspex gives you for danger. The danger doesn't feel imminent. It feels like something just happened that might lead to this.
Either way, this is very concerning. Last time,
Did you two get the weird feeling just now? I look at
yes,
Jasper and Serena.
yes.
Yeah.
Jasper right now would be using his powers to see into the Shadowlands to see if the quote-unquote Wraith is nearby, just in case.
It's Shade, just call it by its name.
You look around into the Shadowlands and you spot nothing that concerns you immediately.
Well, it's not here, at least, but it did.
I think that was how to say. That was an advance warning. It
Hmm.
wasn't like dodge now. Mm. But from my previous experience, was these types of ghosts. One of the people in that domain got set on fire by one of the vampires. So, in their own haven, you know? So,
I assume we fucking move then.
Abel doesn't stay here. If it's hunting Abel, it's hunting Abel. Abel doesn't stay the night here.
We can just go and okay. We have to figure out first what we
We
do.
don't need to move, Jack. We're not the ones hunted. What we need to figure out is how to kill the Wraith. Well, the Shade. And I think extra lesson with Freya is needed. But also what could be really, really good for us is to figure out if that sword can actually, like, deal damage to Wraiths and other types of ghosts. Because if it can, it means not only... It doesn't mean that everything just like, depends on Jasper.
So we find a ghost and try it, yeah?
Pretty
Well,
much.
I suppose we
Pretty
need to
much.
have it materialize.
Freya would be tricky,
Well,
really tricky.
technically, like I said before, the sword exists in both sides. If anything, in the Shadowlands, it looks even better than in the Inlands.
Is
Okay.
Jack isn't that mm,
We
Major
have to
Domo?
specify. We have to specify which fucking sword. The sword from Delmont's shop.
Yes.
Okay. But you were talking. You were saying.
Isn't your Major Domo at the shop a ghost?
Yes, but what is
Yes.
this? Yeah, but like, do you want to
Wouldn't
try
like
and...
to harm him.
Yeah.
If he's willing, we're not
What
saying
if
that.
it's like really bad for the go like, you know?
He might feel if it's bad for him. Let's
And
just
also,
go.
he might know if it's bad for ghosts, since he was
He was
the
working
one
for.
who's
Okay,
had
yeah,
more.
that seems
for
like a
Delmont.
good plan.
Yeah, let's just go.
Okay.
Every
May I
one
have
of
a-
you kids get a free gift from Papa Jack, courtesy of Delmont.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm backing.
All right.
Serena actually looks excited. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna grab my fucking bag."
Yeah,
One
essentially
single
everyone starts making their way to the elevator. Serena just comes back with one of those
Duffel bags.
one of those really, really big handbags that you see those very rich Latina women wear, you know?
She's Polish. She
Oh.
gets it. She gets the pass.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
ready. Like, she even gathered her hair out of her face.
Oh my god, she's serious about it. Yes, because
Treating
looting
this-
the store of the dead necromancer is so much fun.
treating this
Me
like
too.
Black Friday in the US.
Yes.
It is like Friday.
So you begin
I'll
to
just-
head towards the elevator until
Mhm.
you realize you've yet to see Larry.
Has
Uh,
anyone seen the big guy?
No. But also, now that you mentioned, Jasper would go back inside and explain to his ghoul now that he can stay in his room for the time being, and there he can find whatever books on biology he still desires that he has and read upon it.
The ghoul seems grateful, even though it seems like his emotions are a bit stunted. He doesn't seem to feel, or at least to express joy the same way.
Serena, when it's mentioned that Larry's missing, she takes out her phone and in the group chat, she sends it out text. For Larry.
Well, let's see if he answers. For context, there is an actual chat on Discord that they use to send all of these messages, so we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, the rest of you, what do you do?
I'll message Olivia that we're going to the shop just in case you. No worries, the kid's not gone.
Serena, would you mind asking someone to bring some decent food for test subject 4?
Um,
I'm
Serena,
not sure
like-
who I should ask.
Serena looks to Jack like, Leo?
Oh my god, they have to do everything. Yes, Leo can bring some food. Any preferences?
Look, Leo is your secretary, okay? Marcus is a gang, like organized crime syndicate leader, okay?
And Jesus is a fucking deflector, so track record is iffy. But yes, Leo can bring stuff.
He can research like to bring him some, food that's good for the brain, like salmon and stuff.
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
just bring something.
I love how this is going.
Yeah, like
proceed.
Jack's on
Sorry,
his phone
one
to
sec.
message Leo and just like sees the chat in the group chat. Like, my god.
Right, well, Larry says he's fine. He doesn't say where he is, though.
Yes.
Really?
Uh,
Like, given his, like, recent whole gargoyle situation.
hmm
Where is
yes,
he?
this one.
What? He's in his room?
Hmm?
Really? Serena goes back in and up and looks into Larry's room.
You look inside by opening the door, and in you see Larry checking his phone while sitting essentially on the floor and typing in like on a little laptop on the table.
Why did you not come out?
Why would I?
Are you depressed?
No.
Do I hear that?
You all hear this.
Do I feel the lie?
Well,
Can't a
are you
man
looking at him?
enjoy his silence?
He doesn't need to look at him.
I know that he lies if he knows he's lying.
Yeah.
You,
It's
you
like
don't
it-
hear any lying, per se.
Like, it doesn't need to be like a blue tongue. It can be like weird colors in the air, like, or whatever.
Fine. You
The
don't
smell of
hear
bullshit.
No weird colors whatsoever.
No smell of bullshit.
What is the general vibration that I'm getting from Larry?
Okay,
Well-
it's starting to go this way. What's the vibe that I feel coming from his
well,
anal
no.
area?
Actually,
Okay,
Abel
I'm gonna-
does
I'm
have
gonna make. Yes,
power.
but,
So hold on. Abel asked a question. Abel does have a power regarding this.
Yeah,
So
but-
what's the main emotion Larry would be feeling right now?
Or a perception.
Confusion.
Yeah. So
A perception.
there you go.
I'm gonna make aura perception on Larry.
Go on.
And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
5. What do you wish to know?
Well, I'm checking his aura so I can identify everything about his core,
So-
mixed colors, patterns, etc.
So he is definitely kindred. No diablerie,
Uh-huh.
as far
Wait,
as you can
he committed to Diablerie within the last year.
tell. Yeah, but the signs of diablerie don't like. There's not a defined set of time it lasts, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's about
No,
a year.
no. Like Miguel has like some other thing how it lasts, so
Ah, okay. No.
Okay.
Then okay.
There are no signs of diablerie. There are signs of emotions, definitely. There's a surface level of confusion that you can spot. You also spot a tinge of worry / frustration.
mm. Well, you usually come out.
Decided to not
Take it.
this time.
You're taking it easy.
Yeah. Wi-Fi is catching pretty good here.
I
Jack,
mean, yeah,
you smell some bullshit.
Jack literally smells shit.
No, he smells exactly bullshit.
Yeah,
smells-
bullshit.
Not just shit, bullshit.
Hmm.
Maybe he has been feeding on cows again.
Are you okay after the haul? Because you also got possessed that time.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
By the way, how's it? Have you managed to convince your gargoyle friends of like? How's it going with the whole gargoyle
For the
situation?
time being, but working on it, essentially.
Yeah. Do you need like? Do you need? Do you need a fledgling to blame, or supposedly we?
Not as of right now, but I could require some assistance of yours,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps. But later on that, I have to
Okay.
make up my mind.
Okay. I'm gonna like do perception empathy on Larry, and I have 0 successes, so whether he's lying or not, so it doesn't
You
matter.
wouldn't know.
Who would I know?
He's a stone face for me. Larry is a stone face.
What was
Wait,
Larry's
literally.
exact statement?
Which one?
The last one
Well,
you made.
that he may require some
No,
assistance
before
of
that he said.
Serena, but he has to make up his mind on that.
Yeah, you sense no lie, Jack.
Before that, he said that he's working on it, and that they believe him for now.
Yep. No lies.
Okay.
If he believes it's true, so I don't get it.
Well, we're going to the Delmont shop. Abel might be hunted by a shade. It's a very dangerous ghost.
Haven't seen him, to be fair. Maybe he just likes to guard his ring.
Maybe, but either way. Either way, we're going to the shop because we want to figure out if the sword can be used against that Erise. And there's Jasper's new ghoul in the living room. Apparently, his name is test subject number 4.
I read the message.
Yeah, cool.
So, good luck. If you need it.
Also, if you have any problems, you can tell us, you know that.
Of course.
Right. Well, don't do anything I wouldn't do.
You would do so much that he wouldn't.
do many things you would do, Serena.
Yeah, but I said don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Which means...
I know what it means.
Yeah. And... Serena's gonna...
Anything else I might help with?
No, we're going now.
Bye-bye.
And Serena leaves. She quickly pops into her room. Before leaving. And then comes back out.
All right, so are you leaving then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, as the 4 of you begin making your way out of the building, you go to the cars, pick one, doesn't matter which one, and you begin to head towards the shop. You do have some time before you reach it. Would you be talking on the way?
Larry sus.
Well,
So, about trying to entrap that aid, are we going to try to test it out? Because I will need some time to prepare the container and perhaps do a little bit of research about people who have died in agony, violence, or something of the sort.
if Shade is even born this way. It was saying something about the river a lot. Which is either stakes or the person drowned.
Well, from what I have seen, it seemed to be, something particularly to this, and he opens up his cell phone to a little research he did about, water spirits of Japan and whatnot, and tests on to Jack.
But we might ask Freya if she still considers you her student. There might be some complication, and Jack gives Serena a very meaningful side eye.
About what again?
The thing you love to do.
What
He's
thing
like,
will I have to do? Serena just looks at you just like with a face like, you're gonna have to be more specific.
just read my mind.
Okay, Serena looks into his mind.
Yeah, and Jack basically replaced what happened at Freya's.
Oh! 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 Okay, so what does that have to do with me again?
No, it has to do with Freya.
Oh, okay, well.
Well, and it,
I mean,
you might recognize a person.
Yeah, I did. Like, right? It was a
I
fucking
mean, she did say that I
May
could come
milk.
teaching.
It was a May
So
milk.
she did definitely say also that you couldn't come back, Jake. Jack.
Yes. Yes. Well, she threatened me. But as long as she's useful to teach you, I might consider this an unwise choice of words. After all, I'm not welcome there. You are probably still are.
Who, me?
You don't know about that. He
Uh-huh.
doesn't know about that. Abel knows shit about that, so I am persona non grata.
Don't you think that the May milk is going to be really fucking gonna have the same reaction as he had to you?
Well, he didn't see me.
I didn't.
No. Remember? You taught me a trick or two.
Ah, okay, but why did he have such an angry reaction then?
That's a good question.
No, here's the thing, but I think he saw you once. Remember that time when we
saw
all...
me once. He saw me that I went there with Jasper.
No. He saw you in the library.
Yes, as I was just reading.
No, he saw you in the library when all of us surrounded him when he was still a changeling.
Yes, that I know.
And when I bullied him to basically reveal information about Mariposa.
Yes,
You know, where he
And-
almost puked.
yes. And if you remember, he showed a bit of not typical alterations for a vampire.
Yes, I know, because he's a Maymalk.
Yes. She's not really La Sombra too.
A May La Sombra.
I guess.
May Sombra.
That sounds bad. Don't do that.
I'm gonna update her name in my phone to that.
Oh my god. That's why people consider people. That's why some vampires consider vampires on pass evil. Just because we do that. Any whoosies, I can't go back there unless we want Freya dead.
Though
Why?
I also she would want to help anyway. He did not seem happy.
But I'm surprised.
Either way. Yeah, fine. So you want me to go there and then do what?
No, I'm just stating that if Jasper goes there, I can't.
Okay, so you don't want me to talk with her.
You can. At the end, the result will probably be the same. She's gonna end up dead.
I also vividly remember her threatening you about that if you said to
Yeah,
anyone.
she said that if I said anything about it, she said that she'd burn the city down to the ground. I didn't say a thing. You see. By technicality,
I
I'm
don't
still
think
right.
the loophole that you found will, well, convince her that it doesn't need to burn you.
You can try.
She can try.
I'm still
I mean,
stronger.
there's a lot of horrible things she can do to you without, killing you, and without even being near you.
And there's a
With
lot of horrible things that can happen to her.
Yes.
Either
And
way.
some more if I get something I really, really want.
Either way, it's not an issue right now. We all pretend that we know nothing, and either way, Jasper, like, if you need to learn more, you will learn more from Freya. So I do understand now. Oh, now I understand Cecil a bit more. Would be interesting.
Well, one thing going for her is that she was against Delmont.
Yeah. Either way,
And
have
he
we
could-
arrived at the shop yet?
Yeah, probably about.
Yeah, at this point, you'd be arriving to the shop. The car parks nearby. You walk down the stairs, and Jack takes the keys to the shop that very visibly has a closed sign on the window. Jack unlocks the door, and in you go. For those of you who have yet to be in the shop, the main area, Iris, you'd recognize the area because we've seen it before. A lot of the stuff in the front seems to be legit but very common use. But since you've also been in the office,
We all been to the. No, Jasper haven't been to the
Yeah.
office.
but since you've also been to the office, you'd know that the good shit's in the back, essentially.
Yeah.
And off goes Serena
Right.
to the back, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Just her
Yeah,
high
well-
heels, clack, 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 to the back.
Yes, with this hand movement, obviously. Yeah, I'll just open the stuff only area.
All right.
Yes, Serena just stands in front of the staff only area with
Okay, well-
tapping the door impatiently.
As soon as the door opens, you are met with a man, very well dressed, with sort of a pencil mustache-ish, balding head, and he gives a slight bow and says, "Welcome back, Master Jack. I see you've brought guests."
Friends.
Of course. You are very welcome. May I get something for you?
Well, Abel got something, but we have a question or two about that.
Of course.
Jasper might need something, and Serena might need something.
The man looks to the group.
Serena, so Abel has like a fun little ring that allows him to see into the Shadowlands.
Sorry, could you repeat?
Are there any? Abel has a ring that allows him to see into the Shadowlands. Maybe there's something similar in the shop?
I could have a look.
Like a wearable. And maybe some books on magic.
Oh, anything from the library here will do. We don't have an extensive one, but I assure you every book here is...
Legit.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I learned counter magic.
Okay, excellent.
A
So yeah.
trick Mr. Delmont was very fond of, might I add.
Yeah, Serena's gonna go and like look through the books.
Jasper. Anything you can get. Except from
Mm.
Albert. Albert's not for sale.
I mean, I would love to be able to see any and all objects relating to necromancy that he could have had. I would also need 2 containers made of glass, if you have any.
Apologies, could you repeat?
He needs
I
a
need
container shade. A glass
I need 2
container.
containers made of glass.
A container made of glass.
I'm sure you
Well,
can buy some in
I'm-
the shop.
I'm sure you could acquire one quite handily. If you describe the specifics of the ritual, I can provide one of Mr. Delmont's kits.
I mean, the specific ritual I need to do is called Tempest Prison.
I believe that one is meant to create a sort of chaos container. Essentially a container where, upon opening, you unleash a sort of storm. Yes?
Well, it actually gets to suck wraiths in.
Yes. I believe Mr. Delmont had a few pre-made, if you'd like. But if you only wish to create your own, I can provide you one of his kits.
There's pre-made ones.
Well, they were
maybe
meant for emergencies, but yes.
Maybe Abel should have one just in case.
Well, they're
On
quite
him.
large.
Oh, okay.
Like-
Maybe I should show you one.
Yeah.
One moment. Albert basically fades and reappears at the back of the office. Opens a couple of cupboards, removes a few books, and then seems to reach into one of the desk's drawers, pulls out a pair of black gloves, and puts them on before very carefully grabbing a jug about this size.
It's about a gallon.
Yeah, and a glass jug with 2 handles on the top, and sort of a wick covering around it, and a cork keeping it shut with essentially a paper seal on top. And within you can see shimmers of this swirling darkness with very faint purple flashes within. And he very carefully takes the jug and turns around while holding it to show it to you and says, "One must be very, very careful with these. Any wraiths caught in the vicinity are in danger, and this in particular might... Well, if it were to break, I would not exist for very long."
Jasper looks to Abel. Well, do you wish to take it? Because I can create one.
Well, I guess the more we have.
Of course. Shall I leave it in the car, or...
Yes, please. Also, Abel, just so you know, this is a one-time use. Do not open unless the wraith is near you.
And if possible, while away from any wraiths you'd like to keep around. More precisely, yours truly.
Of course.
I better put this in the car. Within that cupboard, there is an additional one, and a set Mr. Delmont used to make these. You'll have to procure the glass container yourself, but, well,
They can be bought in a shop.
yes, the corks and the paper seals he made, they're designed not to open unless one intends to. So I would advise replacing the corks and the seals with the ones in the kit. Otherwise, you are free to create one as you wish. Now, if you'll excuse me. And he seems to carry this jug to the car very, very carefully.
Serena continues looking through the shelves with the library books.
I remember. My god. Oh my god, my fucking memory. I remember. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment.
Well, I guess that's
I
a
remember
little cost
Jim
take
being interested in a book. I'll check out if it's still there.
Could you find me the... was this
Well,
a
basically,
downtime
he was
thing,
interested. No, during the session, he was interested in a book that, like, looked like a leather, but to him it was more interesting. Which probably I get now.
Well, you can find it.
Uh,
It seems to be essentially tucked in between two other books. So you can essentially just pull it out.
mm-hmm. Just like yay big, yay.
It's rather small.
Yeah. I'll check it out. Just curious if it was just the cover that Jim was interested in.
So you flip through it, and after a bit, you realize it's a very short diary written by someone who describes themselves as a scholar of nature. However, the topics discussed, you'd wager, are closer to almost philosophy of the universe, describing some concepts that are very, very odd. You can roll into cult to see if you can get any more information out of this.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper, also take a look up on that book.
2 successes.
Okay.
I assume.
Jasper, you may roll as well.
Do I need to roll any? Are you gonna send me like what I find in the library?
Yes. Just one moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the book, this diary you find, while the topics are rather confusing, you do spot a few words that kind of ring bells in your mind. Namely, it speaks about spheres as topics that one would study. And it speaks of specifically the sphere of spirit.
Do I feel any magic from it?
It emanates a faint amount, yes.
I feel like this is Jasper's alley.
That's a curious fucking book.
It is quite interesting.
Well,
Very closely resembling almost Necromancy.
I'm curious if
One
they pull
thing you
magic
notice,
from it.
Jasper, is while the topic is very close to necromancy, all the terminology is in a way you do not fucking understand. It's almost like, compared to what you usually study, you study the ritual practice of necromancy. This is basically someone looking behind the curtain of all the ritual and just describing the science behind it. If that's even a possibility.
What you
Uh,
find, guys?
The book that talks about a sphere of spirit and emanates
Oh,
magic.
Does it
Oh my.
ring a bell since I had a magic shop?
It's much more than that, Jack.
Miguel.
The topics, no. Uh, with a bit of background knowledge, since you're a quite experienced player in a few systems, this relates to a system you are playing in another session where I don't play.
I know.
Yeah?
I
Yes,
know
uh,
that.
As
And
players, we know that.
yes, and there are
I'm
no
asking, can I
volumes
roll?
written for the public or in general
Yes,
about
but
this type of stuff because it's very
I
guarded
know, but
knowledge.
I collected things in my occult shop from all kinds of things, as long as, and there were things that were not for sale for the public, which I simply bought. So my question is, did I handle anything on it?
I'd say no, probably not. You've dealt with stuff that relates to similar things, especially anything that relates to the spirit realm, spirits, life and death, anything that relates to that. You'd have a few like volumes you've read about it. This terminology is way too fucking alien for you to understand exactly. Like you've
Yeah.
never read something with this type of language, so you wouldn't know, really.
Yeah, so,
Speaks about spirits almost like scientifically.
Good.
okay, well, I can have a look at it later. I have
Or
never
you
really
still
like
have a bag, if you don't mind, and just
Actually, I would love to be able to study this more. I
You'll
can
be.
see parts of it being
mate, library
almost
at
mainly
home is not
like
close to
necromancy.
anyone.
Yes.
If you can get it, if you can get it in our house, you
What
I
now?
would love this would possibly help me create new rituals, paths of necromancy even.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'll give it a read first, cause
yeah, sure.
I read quick, and then it's all yours, Jasper.
If Albert is back by the time, I might ask him about this book because he probably have read it already.
Just out of curiosity, what kinds of books are in this place other than
Mostly
magic
probably about necromancy and spirits.
I see. Okay.
But like Miguel's busy in the second.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting my info on.
Info dump, it's okay, it's all good.
Serena. You can see that Serena is basically just like she has like a stack of letters in her hands, and she was looking through some, and then she's like, she started like flipping over them to look at address.
So am I to
And
assume
then,
you untie the string that's binding them?
yes.
Okay. As you begin to pull on the string, you see the corner of the letters puff with fire.
I put out the fire.
That you do, and if you don't touch the string anymore, the letters are fine.
Maybe it's best that we ask Albert
Yeah,
first
yeah,
about
yeah.
new toys.
Yeah, but this is about. Okay, so these letters are addressed as a Venture Tower.
Hmm?
Well, you see, Serena put like a large volume on the nature of blood rituals into her bag. These letters are addressed as a Venture Tower.
Okay. From
Well, they're addressed as a Venture Tower.
well,
I assume
normally
maybe
there's
from
a
the.
sender.
Is there?
You can't see who sent it.
No, it's not really seen here. Might be Delmont, might be somebody else, but. Yeah, let's wait for Albert.
Wait for Albert, as usual.
And almost right on cue, Albert walks in, removing the black gloves, and starts shaking his hands, taking a bit of a deep breath. Whew. May I help you with anything else?
Can these letters be untied?
Well, I wouldn't know.
Okay, I
I
see.
can tell you how they were collected, though.
Mm.
This is intercepted mail Mr. Delmont had retrieved, and he wished to keep it secret. I'm not sure how he kept it secret, however. I was
See.
kept bound.
I see. Huh.
Can I?
I have an idea.
I have another idea too. May I?
Okay. Yes.
I'll concentrate and just basically try to blindly counteract what's going on with the letters.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's on the binding, I think. Maybe.
Whatever it's on, I'll try to
Yeah, you'll try to
Do-
use counter magic on
do
it.
my.
Your oogly boogly.
One die, right?
Go on. Yeah.
Do I roll 1 or 2?
It's for counter magic, right? And you have one
Yes,
dot?
but yeah, 1 dot is 2 dice, but against necromancy it's 1 die, like half the dice.
So against
say it was
thaumaturgy, it's 2 dice.
Yeah, against thaumaturgy I
dice.
roll full. Against other magic I roll
2
normally.
dice.
2 dice.
Let's go. My God.
2 successes?
Yes.
And this removes 2 successes from the ritual, correct?
From the ritual. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel that whatever's emanating from it, you recognize the sort of what it is. You've experienced something like it before. You focus on it, and it's almost like you're unweaving a tangled mess. And you manage to unweave a good chunk of it, but you sense that there's still something there.
I'll have to proceed a bit later, but
If you
the
want,
progress
I
has
can
been
allow
made.
you to make multiple rolls in the same scene.
Yeah. On the way back, I can try again. Right now.
But it is working what you're doing. Basically, that's the main message here.
Good
It's
shit.
working.
Good shit. Good shit. Albert, there are 2 books in Serena's bag. If you manage to read any of them or both, you told me you can help me with reading this stuff.
Well, of
I
course,
assume you
yes.
just upload the good stuff in the noggin.
Well, if you leave any books on the desk, I can get to reading them on any break time I have. Yes.
Yeah, just tell me if you read those 2, and I'm not Serena to pull them
I
out.
was not allowed to, unfortunately.
I see.
Just give Albert some books to read while you're gone.
Yeah, you can read any book you find interesting from the shelf. If it's protected, I'll just pull them out.
Of course.
Mhm.
And as I sense some, well, as I know that any careful member of this society we are all part of, in one way or another, as I sense some distrust. I can assure you my loyalties are to whoever owns the shop. I
Right, by the
am
way,
not supernaturally bound to it, but I trust whoever owns the shop.
by
And
the way,
as that
Albert,
is Mr. Jack, I am loyal to Mr. Jack.
by the way, Albert, did you manage to see if there's like any variables for seeing ghosts and race around?
I can continue to search. Unfortunately, I was preoccupied carrying
Yeah.
No
a
problem.
wraith nuke.
Just before you go, Abel has a sword of swords. Do you know anything about it?
Was
I
it
assume-
procured
I am
from our
assuming
collection?
Yes.
I will show it.
Leah brought it in a box.
Okay.
I-
As
I
soon.
believe it.
Hmm?
I believe it. I do remember the name. I read it once. I believe the ritual name was called. Wait, I'm trying to remember. Also, out of character.
It's okay.
No problem. Just let Abel show the sword.
So, Abel, as you show the sword, immediately Albert takes a step back and says, "Okay, do be careful with that one."
Am I
In-
right to
in-
assume that it can hurt you?
Very severely, but only if I'm in the Shadowlands. That said, I would still not like
Ah,
having
So-
this weapon strike me.
yes. So
Understood.
what you're saying is,
Can you
Even
please
the
put it
shade.
away?
so what you're saying, even the shade is gonna suffer if it's in the Shadowlands, not materialized, is gonna get really badly hurt by it.
Well, it's going to be struck by it. It hurts as much as a sword. It
Okay.
can't really be dodged by going to the Shadowlands. Is what I mean.
I see.
It was also
and-
used to threaten a great number of ghosts, so if you go brandishing it around, you might get some attention you might not like.
Okay. So does it do? So basically, it works like a regular sword, but if you strike a ghost, whether
While
it's
it's
in
in the
Shadowlands,
Shadowlands.
while it's in the Shadowlands,
Yes,
and if it's in a
otherwise it
physical-
behaves as a regular sword.
and if you strike it while it's in the Shadowlands, is the
It will work the same way a sword would.
Okay.
Only
Okay, got
a regular sword would not do anything.
Yeah, okay. Serena looks stable. Well, given the fact that you have the ring, you at least have a way to defend yourself.
Yeah, what if it manifests into our land?
It's still the same. You just hit it with a sword.
Ah, yes.
It works exactly the same. It's just like if it's in the Shadowlands, you can still hit it.
The ghost can do sneaky on you.
I should warn you of one peculiar effect that the sword may have. I've seen its other half behave violently when transported between dimensions.
What do you mean?
This was
Other
part of a
half.
pair.
Uh-huh.
The other sword was transported into the Shadowlands by one of Mr. Delmont's students.
Okay.
The student did not come back.
Okay, Abel, don't go into the Shadowlands.
With the weapon.
I see. Didn't plan to.
No Shadowland vacations for you.
Well, if you
Would-
leave the sword somewhere on the ground, I'm fairly certain you could hop into the Shadowlands and pick it up again. Just don't try to carry it through.
Ah, interesting. I
It's
guess.
really interesting that it has a representation in both planes simultaneously.
Well, I think that's why you can't really travel between it, like between the realms, because it's you who's being transferred to the Shadowlands, and essentially, even though you have a body and whatever, you do like change quality to be in the Shadowlands. And because it exists in both realms, I guess, it's like,
It's anchored basically to not
no,
change.
it's like, but if you like go through the portal, I guess like, and you see Serena struggle, it's
I
like
may have
cross.
We
explained it.
can work on mass later. It's okay. It's okay.
I may
Albert.
have explained it poorly. The student died as soon as he tried to. As in, he
Yeah,
was turned to ribbons the moment he tried to do this. And the sword
yeah.
was
So
destroyed in the process.
okay, yeah.
Oh,
So it is exactly what I thought. It's like crossing fucking plasma rays and Ghostbusters. It's like, I don't know, little nuclear explosion.
mayhaps, yeah.
I'm not familiar with the term, but if it
Yeah.
suits you.
We are indeed well versed in naming stuff, probably not correctly.
It's like,
Doesn't make it wrong.
look, imagine that the sword is made of like matter here and antimatter there, right?
Yes, basically,
Hmm.
me and my shadows can split both. I can, but
Yes, so and basically when you go through the fucking portals that is meant to make you sort of like antimatter, so basically flipping you around, that also
I get
flips,
it.
but it's not supposed to happen.
I
And
get it.
boom.
Yes, big boom. We don't do that. As simple as that. Very well.
By the way, a question. If you go, like, if you put it on the floor and then you go to the Shadowlands and you pick it up, does it mean that in this world it's going to be floating around?
Well, I've seen it happen, yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
This also means that, depending where you go, it may have odd results.
Well, yes.
The Shadowlands are fucking.
Well, for example, should you decide to take up the sword in the Shadowlands and run through the desert, onlookers in the Skinlands might see a sword breaking the sound barrier.
And I assume if in the Shadowlands a wall doesn't exist, but it exists in
It
the
will
real
be
world.
shattered.
Oh, it will be shattered.
Yes.
The wall.
Yes.
I would assume this. You just like your hand would just get stuck behind that wall with a sword.
It would not
What
be
if-
struggling against the sword. It would be struggling
And
against the fabric of the universe.
And
Hey.
if in the same conditions, what happen if the sword hit a person?
I
in the
think the
Skinland?
result would be quite evident.
So maybe not so good an idea after all.
Flying sword killing people, yeah.
Unless it's Dalmahara people.
True. Anyway, mosey on searching for wearables for Serena, dear friend.
Well, I found what I was looking for, so.
Well,
Well,
if
then-
you'd still like me to look for that relic for you.
Yes, please.
Yeah. You probably have Leo's number, right? Johnny's not with us anymore.
Oh, may he be with, us?
I pull out this old fucking pack of smokes.
I see.
I'm not sure yet.
Yes, he will be.
Hey.
Soon.
Okay. Will he hate me?
Well, that entirely depends.
Well, I was kind of the reason.
Maybe. I wouldn't be able to tell you what he thinks. But I will look for your relic.
Thanks.
Give me a few minutes and
No
I will
problem.
get back to you. And he seems to close his eyes. He vanishes and does not appear in the room.
Can I do that, like, when I tried to see the ghost in Vicus's basement, but with pack of cigarettes.
Perception awareness.
Okay.
No bonus
Auspex.
from Auspex because this is something you're trying to do, and you can do it because of Auspex.
I see.
Otherwise, careful does not apply.
Okay. Beleze. 2 successes.
While you don't sense the presence, you don't see any of those silhouettes that you've spotted in the past, you do feel something, essentially echoes of what used to be Johnny. For a very faint moment, you can smell that smoke from those horrible cigarettes he loved to smoke. Obviously, there's no lit cigarette right now, so you can only assume this is echoes from what he used to be.
Well, that would be an interesting reunion. Just tuck the pack back in the pocket. So, you all good on gifts, kids?
Yeah. Got some book on blood rituals.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Eventually,
The thaumaturgists just losing their fucking shit about it.
eventually, Albert pops into the room once more and looks to Serena. My most sincere apologies, but I believe there is no such item in our collection. I did, however, find well, not a way to create one, but the reason why we don't have one. I believe it would take a significantly skilled hand at necromancy to create such a thing.
And
Wasn't Delmont one?
wasn't?
He was. But this is a secret held by someone else. I believe you should be familiar
Giovanni?
with... Yes.
Well,
Apparently Mr. Delmont had some rivalries regarding his research. They hold a ritual that Mr. Delmont would like. Unfortunately, he has no access to it.
we'll see.
Had.
Well,
Yeah, truly had, because we also saw his spirit get destroyed.
A fate I
In
am
any
quite
case.
pleased to hear about.
All of us are.
yes. In any
Right.
case, just
By
if
the
you
way-
need, is a bookshelf protected against you? Can't read, just threatened to not be allowed.
Well, I'm not allowed to pick anything from the shelf that I want to read, or that I want for myself. I'm only allowed to pick it as a command.
I see.
If you leave,
Oh.
if you leave a volume on the table, however, I will be able to access it and read it.
I see. Anything on the abyss?
Ah.
Hmm.
Ah.
Any part of the topic you'd like to explore?
Rituals, nature, maybe something about labyrinth, if there is.
I do have a I do have a book about Clan La Sombra.
Ah.
Essentially
That's-
studies on La Sombra subjects. A bit grim for one of your persuasion, but useful information that you might care to read.
Sure.
Top shelf.
I'll put out. What the name on the book? Or no
It
name on
doesn't
the
quite have a title, but it's that unmarked volume there.
Ah, okay. I'll like flip through first couple of pages.
It seems like a diary with the same handwriting of the diary you found.
Ooh, interesting. Also feels magical.
This one, no.
Okay. Good.
By the
Yeah.
way,
This
Jack,
one, yes.
how did it go with the letters?
I felt some degree of success.
Okay. Well,
Can I feel that it was really like thaumaturgy, not like that I had easier time?
probably.
You feel the result of the
engineering.
practice that you've had.
I see.
It's probably.
I tried
something.
against abyss mysticism. It must have been a bit easier, right? I assume it is of magical blood.
Well, yes. This doesn't look like necromancy or abyss magic.
Well, might have been coldonism.
It's that still. It's. I mean, I've seen it, but Colderism is also, like it's closer to. It's still it's still blood sorcery.
Yes, I was thinking it was more in line of bold shiny head.
Yeah, yeah. It does. Well,
Anyway, I'll leave the book on De La Sombra, and if any like title catches my interest on the shelf, I'll leave this one too.
Okay. Anyone want to do anything else before you guys leave?
Actually, yeah. I would ask, what's the ghost's name again?
Albert.
I would like to ask Albert if there are any books that were written by Tsumisis
Ah,
in this library.
I don't believe Mr. Delmont had access to any of those. Or if he did, he would burn them on the spot. He was not very fond of the clan, you see.
I'll worth a try.
My apologies. Anything else?
No, I assume not.
Then, I wish you a good journey back to, well, wherever you wish to go. I will be busy reading. And he goes up to the desk, pulls up the chair, sits on it, and he very poignantly makes himself comfortable on the chair, sort of grasping the arms of the chair for a bit, and then scooches the chair forward and begins to flip through the book.
By the way, I don't know if you remember, but if I have counter magic lower than ritual or power, I can't. I simply can't.
That's fine.
Okay. Just so you know.
Mm-hmm. And as you leave, and Jack begins to try to break the.
Oh yeah, I'll ask anyone to drive.
That's fine. As you begin to make your way out, we will go on a very short break. We'll be back very soon.
See you around.